Hi, welcome. My name is Dani Ibarra. I'm a yoga therapist, and this is Colleen. And welcome to part 1 of a brand new series called Yoga for Low Back Pain. So this is part 1 of a 3-part series. In this series, we're going to be focusing on lengthening specific muscle groups in the lower back. Lower back pain is such a common issue that so many of us deal with. At least one time in our life, we're going to experience lower back pain. This pain comes from muscles and bones and nerves. So please be mindful as you move through the practice to really listen to your body. If something is painful, I want you to either stop, or you can always try making the movements smaller. So this yoga practice, just like any other practice, should never hurt you. This practice is designed to help you heal and to feel better, but it's your job to listen to your body. So the muscles that we're going to be focusing on in this series, there's 3 major muscle groups for the lower back. We have the Quadratus Lumborum muscles, which attach from the lower ribs all the way to the top of the pelvis. These are the muscles, also known as QL muscles. These are the muscles that typically strain or pull when we say we've pulled our back out. So bending over into your trunk is one of the biggest reasons, or one of the biggest causes of pulling and straining this muscle. A couple of other muscles are the multifidus muscle, which runs the whole length of the spine. And then we have a muscle group called erector spinae. This is like a combination of many different layers of muscles that cover the lower back. These muscles that run up and down the length of the spine help to support the spine. They also help to bend and twist and laterally flex as well, which we'll be doing in this next upcoming series. So you'll have your PUREWAVE massager. We're going to incorporate the massager into the yoga practice to help loosen up these muscles, to help create a sense of openness and more blood flow. So you're going to be moving up and down on the lower back, and then all the way from the base of your neck, you're going to massage down into your sacrum. And we'll do this on both sides of the body. So Colleen is going to actually help us demonstrate today massaging out these muscle groups. So turning on your PUREWAVE massager, finding the appropriate vibration that feels good in your body. Just going to start lowering the massager to the QL muscles, massaging up and down, moving it around, just thinking of moving the blood flow around the muscles. Good. I do recommend that you practice these videos a number of times. So the more you do anything in life, the more you're going to get out of it. So if you're in a lot of pain, these practices are very therapeutic. Most of them are done on your back because it's the safest way to open the body. So I encourage you to practice them and not to give up after the first time. Keep coming back to the practice so that you can eventually start to feel the practice working for you. So moving on to the other side. Good. A little higher. So in this series, we're going to be focusing on postures that create length to the lower back muscles. The way that I'm creating this entire series is the first one is going to be on lengthening. The second video is going to be on strengthening these muscles. And then the third video is going to be focusing on traction. So you definitely want to tune in to the other 2 videos so that you get the full effect of what we're offering. Good, Colleen. So massage up and down now the length of the spine a few times just to get there. It's really nice to find any tightness through the inside of the shoulder blade. We've got a lot of knotty tissue that gets caught up under there. So massaging that, how does that feel? Good. Okay. And then do the other side when you're ready. Yeah, so that bumping is if the massager isn't turned up very high. It actually feels kind of nice to massage that way as well. Couple more cycles of breath. You want to continue to breathe. And just like the yoga down regulates the nervous system, so does the massage. So breathing into what you're doing, allowing the breath to fill and expand all the way into the back body. Nice. Good, so finishing up. And I'll take that. Great job. So go ahead and make your way onto your back. You're going to want to have a strap or something that resembles a strap as you move through this practice today, and also a blanket underneath your head to make it more comfortable for your neck. So yes, so extend the legs out. I recommend that if you have back pain, this position may not work for you, so keeping your knees bent on the floor is going to be much easier for your lower back pain. So just taking a moment here, maybe closing the eyes, noticing how the lower back, upper back, and middle back feel after a few minutes of massaging. Feel the weight of your body sink down. And now shift your breath so that you're breathing into your back body. So feel the expansion come through the back ribs and the upper back. And then as you exhale, there's a sense of surrendering. So breathing and easing into each and every pose that we're going to be practicing today. And a reminder to always listen to your body. Okay. Take in one more cycle of breath. Good, exhale completely out. And before we begin, just setting the intention to create a sense of calm, a sense of ease, believing that what you're doing is beneficial and helpful in your journey to healing. We're going to begin with some pelvic tilts. This is a really simple movement of your pelvis that directly helps to release lower back pain. So on your next exhalation, just simply press the lower back down into the floor. So that curve of the lumbar spine is now flattening into the mat. And then on an inhale, bring that curve back in. So what she's doing is she's tipping her pelvis back and forth. Tailbone's moving up as lower back moves down. And then tailbone drops down as lower back lifts up. And do that a few more times on your own breath. This is restoring blood flow to the discs in the lumbar spine. This is, I wouldn't call this a fun fact, kind of a scary fact that I want to share with you. But by the age of 23, we lose direct blood flow to our discs. Ooh, isn't that scary? By the age of 23, no more direct blood flow. So that's why the importance of moving the spine, even just something as simple as this, is restoring the blood flow back to the discs. So finish the round that you're on, and we're going to add something to this. Good. Cross the right thigh over the left thigh, and gently squeeze the thighs together. And then do the same thing, flattening out your lower back, moving into the same anterior, posterior tilt in the pelvis. And I want you to over-exaggerate when you press the lower back down. And feel how that strengthens and contracts your deep core pelvic muscles. Good. Do one more. And then finish that out. Release the right foot to the floor. Take a moment before we do the other side and breathe in and out. Good. And now cross the left thigh over the right thigh, gently squeezing the thighs together. And again, pressing the lower back down into the floor. And then inhaling and arching. And if you're comfortable, I suggest keeping your eyes closed as you're moving through so that you can connect to what you're feeling. Notice how it feels different from one side to the next. And always taking special care of your bad side. We want to gently open the body, but we never want to force or strain. Good. Finish your next round. And then release that foot to the floor. And pause here. And just feel, notice. So this next small series, we're gonna need a strap. So you'll take the strap around just the ball of the right foot and take the right leg up. Now there's a couple of modifications you can do in this position. I recommend keeping your bottom knee bent if your leg is roughly here. Okay, so if it's on more of a 45-degree angle, you want to have the support of this leg. If you can take your leg to more of a 90-degree angle, then it's okay to straighten out this bottom leg. But again, it all depends on how this feels. This may not feel good, so go back to a bent leg. So reach out through both of your heels. That's going to start to activate the back line of the legs. And you're working towards straightening the leg as best you can. Your hamstring may be too tight, and be okay if the knee is bent. Give yourself a couple of cycles of breath here. Now we did a lot of that pelvic tilting a moment ago. Notice if your tailbone is lifting up and your lower back is flat. I want you to find neutral position for your pelvis. Begin to press this thigh forward just a little bit more. The idea is to push the thigh bone into the hamstring. Good. Now outwardly turn the leg. Take the strap into your right hand. The left hand will be on the front of the left hip, holding that hip in place, and open the leg out to the right side. Your elbow can be on the floor to help support the leg. Also use your core muscles to help keep the leg elevated. The inseam of your leg is going to get a little bit longer. And you're working to relax your face, your jaw, your eyes. Good. Now to come up, engage your core a lot. Then inhale, lift the leg up to center. Switch hands with your strap, and as you exhale, take the leg all the way over to the side into a twist. Now the foot does not have to come all the way down. Actually, if you can keep it up the height of your hip, that would be best. Now slip the right thumb into the top of the right hip crease. She's going to depress her hip down away from the waist to create some more length and space in her lumbar spine. Send this leg down into the mat. Good. Take a breath here. And then reach your right arm all the way up over your head. So the point of a yoga practice is to find ways that you can use these postures to help you, move through your life easier and pain-free. So there's always going to be something that you do in your life that causes your back to hurt. For me, it's gardening. So every time I garden, I know that my lower back is gonna bother me. But I'm not gonna stop gardening because I love it. But what I'll do is after I finish gardening, I'll come in and I'll do this strap sequence. And it's amazing, it's like magic. It's like anything that was about to happen, my sciatic was about to go out or my back was about to hurt, this sequence actually helps to take away the pain. So pull the belly down and lift the leg all the way up. You can release the arm down by your side and then lower that leg to the floor. And before you go into the other side, I want you to straighten the leg out if that works for your back and feel the difference between right side and left side of your body. You may notice that your right side feels a little heavier and your right leg feels a little longer. All right, let's even you out. Bring the left leg in. Strap the foot. And lift it up. You decide if you want to keep the bottom leg bent or straight. I recommend doing the same thing that you did on the first side on the second side. Reach out through the heels of the feet so that the back of the legs start to energize and contract. You're working towards straightening this leg as best you can. And when we lift the leg, the hips automatically come out of alignment. So you're going to work to move this outer left hip down a little bit to even out the lower back. and breathe into what you're feeling here. So because this is my #1 sequence for lower back pain, I'm going to give you a little challenge. So you'll notice if you follow our series of videos that each series I will offer a 14-day challenge. So the challenge for this series is doing this strap pose work for 14 days straight. I recommend that if you suffer from back pain, do this challenge for the next 14 days. Incorporate your PUREWAVE massager for 14 days. And then we want to hear how this challenge is going for you. Go ahead and take the strap to your left hand and open the leg out to the side. Place the right hand on the hip. So this challenge is called the PUREWAVE Low Back Challenge. So feel free, once you make it through the challenge or even during the challenge, to drop us a comment or send us an email. We want to know how you're doing through the challenge and how you're feeling. I often give challenges because I don't want to tell you that something works. I'd rather you experience it for yourself so that you're a believer in what you're doing with us. Take in one more breath. Engage the lower belly. Lift the leg up to center. Take the strap to the opposite hand and bring the leg over into a twist. The top hip will depress away from the waist, creating length to the lower back, and then bring your left arm up over your head and breathe up and down the side body. Remember, where the focus or intention for this video is lengthening. So can you use your breath to move into all those places, especially in your lower back, that get compressed, locked up, and tight? Breathe to make space. Breathe to open. On the next exhalation, you're going to draw the belly in, lower the arm, and bring your leg up to center. Nice job. Release the foot to the floor. Take a moment. Rest and breathe. And hug both knees in towards your chest. Give a little squeeze, a little gentle rock from side to side. Just bringing everything back to center, back to balance. Raise the right arm up over your head and roll onto your right hand side. And use your hands to press all the way up. You're going to make your way onto your hands and knees. Feel free, if you have sore knees, to open up that blanket and you can place the knees on the blanket if you'd like. All right. So coming onto all fours, stack the shoulders directly over the wrists and the hips over the knees. Engage and lift the lower belly gently up, and on an inhale, you're going to reach your chest and your gaze forward. On your exhale, push your hands and feet down, round the back, and lift the belly up. Inhale, reaching the heart forward. As we move the spine back and forth, go to your own breath pace. We're moving into flexion and extension. And again, this movement is restoring blood flow back to the discs so that our discs stay healthy. Do a few more like this. So on this exhalation, her tailbone's moving towards her chin. And then inhale, the tailbone's lifting up. So it's the same pelvic movement that we did earlier on in this sequence at the very beginning. Good. Now on your next inhalation, stay here. Let the knees separate a little bit apart. Big toes are going to join together. And as you exhale, send your hips back towards the heels. This is called child's pose. This is a great posture for lengthening the muscles of the lower back all the way up through the mid-back. I do not recommend doing this pose if you have any issues in your knees. The same stretch as if you were to lie on your back and hug your knees into your chest. It's the same pose without bearing the weight like child's pose. So now we're going to move back and forth. So come on up to your hands and knees. Stretch your heart forward So we're extending the spine. And now exhale, take your hips straight back down to your heels. Now we're lengthening. And continue like that a couple more times on your own breath. You want to be careful not to overextend the lower back. So the core is engaged on that inhale. Our lower back tends to have more flexibility as well as our neck. So we want to maintain the integrity of the spine. Now you are more than welcome to continue doing this, or we're going to add a downward facing dog into this. So come on up to your hands. Straighten your arms completely and spread your hands wide. Then tuck your toes and lift your hips up into downward dog. Good. So she's going to elongate the spine, lifting the hips up and send the front of the thigh bone back. Lower down to the knees, reach your heart forward, inhaling. Exhale, send your hips back, child's pose. Let's do that 2 more times, just moving now to the flow of your own breath, linking the movements to an inhale and to an exhale. Good, bringing it back down. And child's pose. Good, one more time. Inhale to the knees, and then child's pose, resting here. Notice how that movement felt. Notice the connection you have to your breath right now. Give yourself one more full breath in. Exhale all the way up. Make your way back up to your hands and knees. And you're gonna lie down on your back. Move that blanket back underneath your head if you'd like. And once again, hug both knees towards your chest. And with a little bit of lengthening to the lumbar, so place the feet to the floor, the heels of your hands will go right into the front of your hip crease. So she pushes her thighs away. Take a big breath and imagine your rib cage lifting up away from the pelvis. So this is the area right now that we are elongating and lengthening. Good. Give yourself one more breath. Then relax the arms. We're going to move into our final relaxation pose called Shavasana. You have the option to keep your knees bent, or if it feels okay in your body, extend the legs out. You can always place a pillow or a blanket underneath your knees as well for more comfort. So allowing the palms to turn up. Let your shoulders roll under just a little bit so there's space underneath the heart. Take a long, deep breath in to fill. Exhale all the breath out and settle. Give yourself a few moments to take in the benefits of the practice today. Taking this opportunity to pause and be still. Really deepen the flow of your breath. You are more than welcome to stay here longer if you're at home. Wiggle your fingers and toes. Stretch the arms all the way up over your head. Taking a full body stretch. And hug the knees in towards your chest. Roll to your right hand side. And come on up to a seated position when you're ready. Let your shoulders release back and down, feeling the space behind the heart lift and open. And just visualize a tall, healthy spine. The strength of the spine support your body. And move through this day with more openness, more freedom, and more ease in the physical body. Place the hands together in front of your heart. Just honoring yourself for showing up today. Do this self-care. Thank you so much for joining us. Bow your chin down. The light within me honors the light within you. Namaste.